Siomra beag.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sure Look, Sure Listen, the podcast that takes a pop at culture. Sure Look, Sure Listen.
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 Sure look, Ben. It's me, Justin Roiland, but don't worry that I sound different because I've been replaced. And that, Ben, is just one of the pieces of news we have this week. But sure look, we're not just going to talk about Justin Roiland, we're also going to talk about the flash in the pan that is The Flash. Haha, I'm up in your business stealing your jokes. You have some major Jonathan Majors updates.
I do.
And we've had a couple of bloody trailers. We've had a trailer for Kraven, Wes Craven's Kraven, and we have a trailer for The Three Body Problem, which I assume I'm going to have to explain to you. And I've seen Secret Invasion Episode 1, the secret drama.
Sure listen, Michael, if that wasn't enough, and it actually is, we're chock-a-block this week.
Chalky bees.
Chalky bees, if that wasn't enough, Michael, we've taken a look back at one of the most beloved sequels to a franchise ever. We've taken a look, Michael, it's another episode of Exhumed. We seem to do Exhumed in doubles, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at the Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, one of the most beloved Indiana Jones franchises.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Oh, who knows, Michael? Who knows? Let's find out later on the podcast.
Oh, very good. That'll give us time to look it up. Benjamin,
Yeah.
speaking of not knowing what's going on, there's no more Justin Roiland.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, bad enough. Oh, bloody hell, I'm Richard. Oh, Mortimer. What's happening to my voice, Mortimer? Sorry. So, that was terrible, and I apologise profusely to all involved. But, Michael,
Very
This week, Solar Opposites, the popular Hulu show, once piloted by one Justin Roiland, released the opening sequence to its brand new season this week, Michael. And it was very humorous.
Season 2 or Season 3?
Season 3, I believe. Season 3 of Solar Opposites, I think we're on
Get
now.
up out of here.
Yeah. So, quite interesting, Michael, for a number of reasons. And first of all, the entire sequence is very, very simple. It starts with one of the popular characters, Michael, saying, "No, I'm just going to throw this lawn dart. Nothing bad could possibly come from this." And then he throws the lawn dart, Michael, and it hits the character famously voiced by one Justin Roiland in the throat.
Oh no, what does he say? Does he say, "Oh jeez, this is after hitting me in the throat, Rick"?
No, he says,
Oh, very good, yeah.
And then, thankfully, Michael, because they're aliens on planet Earth,
Aliens. Yeah.
they say, "Go get the voice-fixing ray." And they go, and they get the voice-fixing ray, and they shoot it. But in a classic Solar Opposites fashion, Michael, they're very incompetent aliens.
No.
And they only go and butcher it up. They make a dog's dinner of it, Michael. And he comes out sounding remarkably like popular British actor Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens, him from Legion and Eurovision.
From Dan Stevens of Eurovision fame, A Song of Ice and Fire, one of the only Will Ferrell movies that actually holds up.
Yeah, that's not called A Song of Ice and Fire, but very good.
Oh, no, it is. It is. It's called Eurovision, A Song of Ice and Fire.
Is it?
That's what it's called.
Is it?
I'm not making this up, Michael. I'll check it now.
I can't tell if this is a bit. It sounds like a bit, but you're saying it with the sincerity of it not being a bit. Is a Song of Ice and Fire... Is a Song of Ice and Fire not Game of Thrones, Ben?
It is, but I think that might be part of the joke.
Is that the joke? Is that what the Dan Stevens film Eurovision
No,
is called?
I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry. I've let everyone down, Michael. I'm sorry.
What's it called?
Sorry.
Is it remotely close?
It is. It's not a million miles off. It's The Story of Fire Saga, which, in fairness, could probably be a Game of Thrones book.
Oh, very much so, Benjamin.
But I was wrong. Yeah.
That means they've replaced Justin Roiland with Dan Stevens.
Yeah, so this is the first of those to happen, Michael, after the allegations brought against Justin Roiland last year, which he has now been cleared of, I believe. The charges have been dropped, although that doesn't mean he's innocent.
I mean, legally it does.
Legally it does, which is why I'm saying the allegations brought against him last year, Michael. And I'm not saying when he got into a spot of trouble, because that trouble legally never existed.
Never existed.
And
None of it ever happened and everything's fine.
As the famous adage goes, Michael, where there's smoke, there's almost never fire.
If you get away with it, it never really happened. Benjamin.
Yep, it's a classic.
Are they going to replace him on Rick and Morty?
Almost certainly, yes. Adult Swim has come out and issued a statement, or they did issue in a statement back when it was a bit more controversial, Michael, and they said, here, come here to me, we're done with them.
Huh.
So
Seems harder.
Just, we're done with them.
No, seems like it would be hard to replace the voices of Rick and Morty on the show Rick and Morty.
Then again, Michael, it seems like it wouldn't be. I mean, the amount of Rick and Morty impressions that have come out, including a competition run by Adult Swim before these allegations broke, which now, Michael, in hindsight, seems very serendipitous.
Seems very, very suspicious. Ben,
Almost like Adult Swim
Yes.
might have known that something was coming.
Well, isn't he a loose unit anyway? They must have always known this guy's a bit of a loose unit. He's no Dan Castellaneta.
You know what? You could set your watch by Dan Castellaneta. You couldn't by Justin Roiland. It'd be a bloody drunk watch.
So anyone who's listening now, just do bear in mind that we recorded this before those allegations about Dan Castellaneta came out.
Yeah, that's very important for future episodes. For posterity, we didn't know.
We didn't know at this stage.
We thought you could set your watch by Dan Castellaneta. We had no idea that he also had an allegations watch. We didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know. Ben.
Yes.
Speaking of things that no one could have ever known.
Yes.
The Flash has been an absolute commercial failure.
Yeah, because it's shit.
Oh, it's because it's shit. That's
'cause
why.
it's shit.
It's because it's shit and because of the allegations. And because of it being part of the rubbish Snyderverse.
Yeah, no, it's shit.
Yeah, it's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Yeah. Did you see the box office numbers, Ben?
I think they're pretty rough, Michael.
Very bad.
What I'm hoping, Michael, I'm quite pleased to see it do poorly, to be honest. And not for my usual selfish nerd reasons. I do believe that Ezra Miller is just an egregious being. And I'm quite happy that their actions have negatively impacted the success of this film.
I don't know if it's only Ezra Miller. I think the bad word of mouth, the lukewarm reviews, the not really going anywhere nostalgia, and the fact that it's rubbish.
All of those things have probably played a bit of a role. Yes.
Yeah, the fact that it's rubbish. Ben, it has been beaten in its second week, or maybe even in its first week, by Spider-Man. Spider-Man is back ahead of it.
Embarrassing.
Very bad.
A vastly superior multiverse film is Spider-Man, Michael, which you still haven't seen.
I still haven't seen it because you snuck off and saw it out, remember?
Sorry, I hurt your feelings on that one, Michael. I won't do it again. I probably will, but I'll try not to.
So absolute bomb. An absolute critical and commercial bomb. Less than 200 million opening, Ben.
Yeah,
if you can imagine.
It's rough for a huge Warner Brothers film. But Michael, I am convinced more than ever that we cannot trust the folks over at TikTok, because all I heard from them, hucksters the lot, except for us, we're on TikTok, go follow us. Hucksters the lot apart from us, because all they went on about was how this was like a brand new wave of super. It's shit. Piece of shit.
Just shit. Just shills, Ben. They're just shills. They're just shills for big Hollywood.
Not us.
Unless
Although,
anyone has any money.
If someone would like, we'll shill.
Anything.
We'll shill. Sure, look, sure, listen. The podcast that will shill.
For money. Even, look, if you're big Hollywood and you've got a new project coming out and you've got a $3 million marketing budget behind it and you need Ben to shill for the new buddy cop movie starring Justin Roiland and Jonathan Majors, Ben will do it.
I'll do it.
He'll do it. Stick Ezra Miller in there.
I'll do it. All of us. My tune will change.
Oh yeah. You come and you tell us that you're remaking Lethal Weapon 3 with Justin Roiland, Jonathan Majors, and Ezra Miller as the Joe Pesci character. Then we're in.
Sold.
Absolutely sold. Maybe Ezra Miller could be Mel Gibson.
I don't know if you've done this intentionally, Michael, but Ezra Miller as Joe Pesci stand-in, solid. Solid call.
Yeah, very good.
Maybe we'll invert it. We'll make Jonathan Majors Mel Gibson's character.
What do you mean invert it?
Because isn't it Mel Gibson and Danny Glover? Isn't that? Is that Lethal Weapon?
Oh, you mean invert it because they're race? That's what you mean?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the most
Inverting
important
the
thing about
Michael.
them. Oh, right, yeah. No, you see, I don't see colour, Ben, so I wouldn't consider that inverting it.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
I see.
Maybe Big Hollywood don't want you to shill for them.
Well, Michael, that's all dependent on whether or not Jonathan Majors survives his court appearance.
Oh,
Yeah.
what an unpleasant segue.
So, Michael, August 3rd has been set as the first hearing on the allegations against Jonathan Majors, the actor, who was accused about 4 months ago of physically assaulting his then girlfriend at the time. And so it's been set, Michael, and it's gotten a little bit interesting. Now, there's been, his attorneys have outlined some of how they plan to defend him in court. Not all of it. They're just giving you broad strokes of the thing. And apparently, the taxi driver of the vehicle in which the alleged assault took place is willing to testify. Robert De Niro is willing to testify in favour of Jonathan Majors. Now, that doesn't mean anything, Michael. You can buy a witness. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
That's no issue.
So hold on a minute, Ben. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. So if the witness is willing to testify in favour of the alleged perpetrator, you can buy them.
Yes.
But if they're willing to testify in favour of the alleged victim, they're a good egg.
You're a shitbag. You're a
classic
shitbag.
good egg taxi driver.
You will not rest, Michael, until we are cancelled for rampant misogyny.
There's no misogyny.
There's a little bit of misogyny.
There's no misogyny. I haven't said anything about men or women. I'm talking about, Benjamin, the legal system.
Very good. Very good. Now, Michael, a few other things have been revealed here which might lend a little bit of weight to your reinterpretation of this issue.
I'm not reinterpreting any issues, but go on.
There are apparently text messages from the victim in this case towards Jonathan Majors that may exonerate him somewhat as to his place in all this.
Oh, go on.
There is also CCTV footage of the alleged victim entering a nightclub after the incident took place and looking absolutely fine.
Oh, so it was only a gentle couple of slaps.
We don't know. That's not what's being said here. So what happened was the initial things were that the victim at the time sustained neck injuries and a bloodied hand in this alleged assault in the back of the taxi. However, apparently then went on to a nightclub with some friends. The CCTV footage of that nightclub apparently shows absolutely no damage to the victim at that time.
Alleged victim. Ben, is there anything to be said that they might all be bad eggs?
I think they're all bad eggs. I don't think there's a winner here. I think it's two groups slinging shit at each other and seeing who says they smell first. I think that's what we're dealing with.
And Creed 3 wasn't very good.
Creed 3 wasn't very good, Michael. A bit of a pastiche, some would say.
Yeah.
I found out,
wasn't great.
Michael, that Sylvester Stallone wasn't allowed to take part in that film, or chose not to take part in that film because he's had the rights to Rocky taken off him.
Yeah. No use.
Snuck away from him.
Big Hollywood, Ben. Big Hollywood. Bastards.
No good. But anyway, Jonathan Majors' court date is set for August 3rd. His team alleges that they are going to strongly fight this, and they have evidence to do that. However, other lawyers in the lawyer sphere, Michael, that's what it's called in legal terms.
Yeah, the lawyer sphere, yeah.
Yeah. They allege that this is an aggressive attempt to make the victim stand down. The alleged victim.
Oh, yeah, well, that's how legal defense works a lot of the time, isn't it?
Yes, you just scare people. Not unlike Jonathan Majors in the back of a taxi. Allegedly.
Ben, speaking of scaring the absolute shit out of people, we saw the trailer for Wes Craven's new Kraven.
Michael, do you know what I love?
Did you love the film Morbius, the film Michael Morbius?
That's the one. You've picked it right out of the air, Michael. I said to myself, do you know what I love is when they take a beloved character.
Yes, go on.
From a very well-established superhero franchise, for example, a Spider-Man,
Oh, yeah. Well, some of my favourite characters from the Spider-Man franchise are Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he? Really,
Oh.
you couldn't imagine any other character from that franchise interacting in that world without, say, Spider-Man.
No, maybe Venom.
You could probably get Venom, but you'd probably have to get one big A-list actor, Michael.
Yeah, you get him out of the dilithium mines.
Get him out of the dilithium mines, Michael, where he might have been serving under the Romulans.
Yeah, it's Tom Hardy.
It's Tom Hardy. Now, you get yourself a Tom Hardy, Michael, and you get him a high caliber actor, Michael. Top tier, Oscar tipped frequently, has experience in the superhero realm, loves to stretch himself kind of actor like Tom Hardy, and you might get away with it.
No, you won't. It's rubbish.
It's rubbish, yeah. Venom shite. Venom shite. But for some reason, Michael, it did well. Venom did well.
Fiscally.
If
not emotionally.
Critically. Fanically.
Yes.
Not at all.
Savaged. Absolutely savaged.
Because, Michael, one might not see the point in doing a Venom film without his classic nemesis, Spider-Man.
Yeah. But Benjamin, one of the best things about the producers of the Venom film, Sony, is that they are great at learning a lesson.
Yeah, they really pick it up, Michael.
The lesson they learned from the fiscal success of Venom was, let's do all the Spider-Man baddies.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Let's do everyone's favourite Spider-Man baddie, Venom.
Yeah, let's get him
Everyone's second favourite Spider-Man baddie, Carnage. Everyone's third favourite Spider-Man baddie, Michael Morbius.
I think that might have been a stretch, Michael.
Yes, it was a little bit of a stretch, because then they made a Michael Morbius movie, which we saw 2 years ago.
And Michael, as you well know,
what is it?
A critical fucking dynamo, Michael, just sailed away with the praise of fans and critics alike, Michael. Everybody loved it. It starred everybody's favourite non-problematic actor, Jared Leto.
Benjamin, to quote the English, we're rubbish.
Yeah, nah, fuck it, mate.
Fuck it, mate, it were rubbish.
Yeah, it were rubbish. And Michael, at least I can understand some of the logic for Morbius, because they went, well, let's try it with an anti-hero. Because Michael Morbius isn't strictly a villain.
Right, go on.
And they went, let's try that. And then, Michael, they said, oh, well, we probably won't get a sequel out of this, but come here to me. What if we took possibly one of Spider-Man's greatest villains, Michael?
Venom.
No.
Dr. Octopus.
No.
Mysterio.
No. The one villain, Michael, that pushed Spider-Man to the edge of his sanity more than the Green Goblin. What if we did that?
Yes, Kane.
And that'd be good for the next Spider-Man, Michael, because what would happen then is bloody Tom Holland would be pushed to his limit, Michael, and might don the black suit and kick off the whole Venomverse.
Oh.
And Sony said, yeah, we like that idea, but we're just going to do it ourselves.
We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to do a film about a man who gets bitten by a radioactive lion.
Yeah, so Michael, this week we got the trailer for Kraven. It's Morbin time.
Kraven 2 is Morbin Michaels.
Yeah, that's what we got. Michael, this dropped right as we were recording the podcast. We got a trailer for Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven.
Yeah. What in the hell is going on? Have Sony learned absolutely nothing from Morbius?
The answer is no, Michael. The answer is no.
Not a single lesson learned, Ben, from Morbius.
Not one. Not an iota.
They've gone and they've released, literally, scene for scene, the same trailer.
It's Michael Morbius.
It's Michael Morbius too. This time he gets bitten by a lion instead of vampire bats.
Why does Sony like animal vampirism so much?
What's going on?
What's going on, Michael? Why are they so in love with London?
What's
that about?
Why are they so in love with the concept of two brothers?
And they don't get on.
Torn apart by one. And it's so obvious that the older brother is going to become evil Kraven.
He's chameleon. He's going to be the chameleon.
Oh, is he going to be the chameleon? Or
I'd put money on that, Michael, because he looks to be the timid, snaky one.
Oh, I see. He could turn into a snake.
And Michael, if we've learned nothing else from this trailer, it's that this family is Russian descended, and we know that because of Russell Crowe's brand new pact to never be in a film that doesn't allow him to do a silly accent.
Russell Crowe has just a love of silly accents that It speaks to me so much, Ben, because me and Russell Crowe are about as good as silly accents as each other. But he gets to do it on the $100 million stage.
Somebody needs to sit him down and say, Russell, have you heard of Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. You'd have gas crack, Russell. You could be a character from Russia one week. You could be a Greek god the next week. You could do any funny... You could be Jekyll and or Hyde. You could do any sort of funny accent you want.
Michael, we have had this. We're making this out to be a joke, but honestly, the last three things we've seen him in, he's been a mock Greek in one, a mock Italian priest in another, and now he's a mock Russian daddy.
It's great. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous stuff. And he's already in both of these universes. Well, he's already Zeus in Marvel. He's already Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in the Dark Universe, that very popular and successful series.
Such a hit.
Why did they need to be in more franchises?
Michael, this gets even more confusing when we look at what they've done to Kraven. Look what they did to our boy.
Well, first of all, it appears he's the goodie.
Yeah, what the fuck?
His name is Kraven, Ben.
They are taking all of Spider-Man's most heinous villains and they're just giving them a little lick of good guy paint.
Yeah, and then saying, you're not born a villain, you're born a villain. But
that's what they said. They're like, you're not born a villain, you're made a villain. And you're like, okay, but like, nobody made him. He was bitten by a radioactive line.
He was bitten by a Ben, I cannot believe that he was bitten by a radioactive line. I can't believe it.
Michael, it's going to turn out that line was bitten by a radioactive spider. I think that's what that spider... I think that's what that spider scene in the fucking thing is about. Because Kraven wakes up. We have a very, very, very smoking Chekhov's cobweb put in front of us, Michael. There's a split-second scene where there's a whole bunch of spidery boys coming down from the ceiling. Yeah. And I think we're going to find out those are genetically modified spiders that bit the line.
That's fucking gas, Ben. I hope the internet rounds on you thoroughly when that turns out to be completely wrong.
Yeah, they'll get me.
Did you see him, though, leaping around off walls like a young Michael Morbius?
Did you see him when he charged forward with the hunger in his eyes of a young Michael Morbius?
I did, with his long hair akin to a young Michael Morbius.
Michael, I tell you what, he was the cut of a young Michael Morbius. But you know what's annoyed me more than anything? They let Russell Crowe have a silly accent, but they didn't give it to Aaron Taylor-Johnson, the actual Kraven, famously carrying a real heft of a Russian accent.
Yeah. No, he's got to be Englishy, kind of generic Englishy, American-y.
Transatlantic?
Man. Yeah. Now, you listen to me, Spider-Man.
Slap. And yeah, we got... It's kind of Kraven. What I would love to know is why Sony took a look at his original power set, which is given to him by a shamanic potion.
Oh, is it? I thought he didn't have powers.
And then they went, no, it's a bit far-fetched. What could we do? What about a shamanic line?
What about if a radioactive line bit him? Isn't that how everyone gets powers?
Yeah, that's not far-fetched at all. Stick it in.
The good thing, though, about the whole thing, Ben, is they're going to do the Rhino justice on live action finally.
Yeah, that's going to be good, isn't it? I've always wanted to see Rhino transform into the Rhino. That's what I want from my Rhino.
Ben, we absolutely laid into The Flash last week for having appalling CG.
We did, yeah.
But that lion, Jesus H. Christ, that looks like it was done by someone who's heard a description of a lion.
Michael, it is the modern medieval equivalent of someone scribbling down a line based on. Oh well, they've got 4 legs,
big-ish,
and they're big-ish, and their
big
eyes
enough,
are a bit different. Their eyes are a bit different, and they got lots of hair.
Yeah, radioactive as fuck.
There's a tarot card in it for some reason, Michael. Did you see the bit with the tarot card?
No, I blanked it out.
It's a shamanic line, Michael. Come here to me.
What is
he's it? He's on a vendetta.
Yeah.
For no reason other than his dad was a bit of a prick.
And
I love it. I love the logic, Michael. My father puts evil into the world and I take it out. Oh.
Great.
Look, what a load of shit.
Can't wait, Benjamin. The only thing I can't wait for even more is what's next.
Michael, I cannot wait for Otto Octavius, played by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen, bitten by a radioactive octopus.
I'm ready for it, Michael. I want the Vulture, played by Adrian Brody.
Bitten by a radioactive vulture.
Bitten by a radioactive vulture. Except I don't think those are sexy enough, Michael.
Oh, go on.
I think Sony kind of goes with who's a bit of a hot flavour at the moment. Let's stick him in there, Michael. So what I'm really, truly holding out for is Sandman, played by Jamie Dornan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bitten by a radioactive sand.
Yeah, bitten by a radioactive grain of sand.
Although
Michael,
that is pretty much Sandman's origin story.
Fuck.
Shit.
We've accidentally come full circle and given Sony their next idea. That they're going, write that down. They can't even take a crack at us for that.
Write it down. Radioactive sand, he said.
Michael, the best thing about this is Aaron Taylor-Johnson's six-pack.
Oh, he's got some abs.
He's got some fucking abs on him. And some balls on him for doing this. This is fucking silly.
Very funny stuff.
It's Kraven time.
It's Kraven time.
Oh, very good.
Oh, fabulous. Very good, Benjamin. But look, there are also smaller things coming out
Go on.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Such as, for example, Three Bodies. How many is that? Is that too many?
It's called the three. It's a bit of a problem, Michael. To be honest, Three Bodies is a bit of a problem. Oh, very good. Look at us, witty. Michael, we got a trailer for relatively renowned Chinese sci-fi novel adaptation, Three Body Problem.
Yes, very good. Very
This week
exciting.
on Netflix. Very good, very exciting, Michael. So to give you a little bit of background on this, Michael.
Oh, me personally, because I know. Do you mean the listeners?
Do you know all about Three Body Problem?
Yeah, I've read it in English.
Have you read it in English?
Yeah. Ben, yes, you know, I quite like science fiction.
Michael, you love science fiction. You should do this then. You tell the listeners.
No, it's a book. It's a Chinese science fiction book.
Oh, okay, right, okay, yeah. You don't want to
And
tell
there's
them any
aliens.
more. Yeah,
okay, right. There's aliens.
Give me a bit more. Yeah.
Well, it's a classic Ben mixed timelines book.
Yeah, there's loads going on.
It's the olden days and the future days and the Chinese days and the far future. But there's aliens, Ben.
Yeah.
And the aliens are like, our planet is fucking shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Does anyone have any better planets?
Come here to me. Do
And
you know any good planets going? Do you?
Do you know any good planets? And the people on Earth are like, all right, guys, what about here? And then everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't have told the aliens that we're here.
Yeah, that's
now
not a
they're
great
gonna
idea.
come.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the aliens are like, oh, don't worry about it. Chill. It's going to take us fucking ages to get there.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of years.
Good.
And then the humans are like, all right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll fucking get ready.
Oh.
So when the aliens show up, you're like, surprise, we're ready, yes, fuckers. But, Ben, some of the humans are like, nah, it'll be grand, because when the aliens will come, they'll sort it out, there'll be a sound.
Yeah, because that's always worked out in the past. Invading forces are often very sound.
So we'll be pro-aliens.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll be pro-aliens. And then the aliens, Ben, are like, right, well, it's going to take us ages to get there. But what if we sent massless particles that were also supercomputers ahead of us?
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
To muck about with the humans.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. A classic Discord kind of move.
Yeah. So they send Discord. They send the app Discord.
Yeah, so they send the app Discord, which we are on. The link is now in the description. Hop up on the Discord.
Yeah. We're not aliens. We're not saying we're part of this alien preparation plan, but if we are, you better get on the Discord or else we're going to fold you.
Then again, we would say that we weren't aliens. That is how we would sell it. So you'll never know.
You'll never know. That's what the aliens would say.
You'll never know.
Ben, it's a science it's an excellent, hard, speculative science fiction classic.
Go on, tell me more.
And now it's coming to Netflix.
Yeah, it's great news. Great news. Netflix are sure to make a rather mediocre adaptation of it that we'll all watch anyway.
Yeah. It seems to be what Netflix particularly like about it is one of the aspects of the book is that they have a kind of VR thing.
Yeah.
A kind of VR is the best way to describe it. They have a VR where you can VR the alien planet.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? No.
And no, it wouldn't. It's awful. It's a shit planet. That's why they don't want to live there anymore.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Because they rotate, Ben. You see, they rotate around 3 stars. The 3-body problem.
Oh, that's the 3 bodies.
That's the 3 bodies, Ben. Because famously, Ben, in physics, the 3-body problem is the difficulty in predicting systems with 3 interacting bodies in gravitation.
Oh, thank you very much, Michael. I had no idea that's what the three-body problem was. This is a hard speculative fiction.
Oh, yeah. So it's like they live on a planet of random weather. It's like the world of J.R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones, but to the extreme.
Oh, right.
So, yeah. Sometimes the whole planet's on fire and sometimes it's ice.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
Exactly. It's no use.
It's very hard to adapt, Michael.
Impossible. Because you can't plan. You can't predict anything.
I suppose because there's three rotating things in gravity.
Exactly. So sometimes you're like right up close to 2 bloody suns and you're like, I'm fucking boiling. And then you're right up close to 3 suns and you're like, this is literally lava now. So we're all going to die.
Bit of a three-body problem then.
Exactly, Benjamin.
Oh, very good.
3-body problem. So the aliens are like, well, we're just going to go to Earth and nick that.
Michael, you explained that very well.
That's what they're up to.
You explained that very well. You should do a podcast or something.
Yeah, I will. I'm thinking of setting one up. But yeah, it's gas. It's gas. Good, very hard speculative fiction. I have lost track, Ben, because I read it a while ago.
Go on.
Years ago. But it's a 3-book series.
It is.
And I don't remember what happens in each of the books. So I might have spoiled something there, I've just realised.
You've probably spoiled
I don't think so, though.
You've probably spoiled the whole thing, Michael. We'll watch it anyway.
Yeah, look, I'm excited about it, funnily enough.
Well, you would be if you've read it and quite like it as a book, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose
hard pressed not to.
You'd be hard pressed not to, Michael. It's a great work of hard speculative fiction.
Is it a great work?
Well, it's too late now, Michael. I've said it.
You've said it a couple of times.
It's out there now. They'll put me on the blurb for the next one.
They will.
Yeah.
Do you think they will?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're a grand bunch of lads, the Chinese.
Grand bunch of lads, the Chinese. If they'd like us to shill for them, just get in touch.
We'd shill for Big China any day of the week.
Any day of the week, we'll take your fucking money.
Yeah, we will. Just
You
send it over
heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Yuan. We'll have any of it. Send it over. Send it over in big suitcases. Send it over
Hilarious.
in like single massless particles.
So send it
gets here
on to
faster.
us through our Discord.
Yeah. Any way you want.
Any way you like it, we'll pick it up. Michael, speaking of things that aren't very good.
Yes, go on.
Apparently, Michael, there's a bit of a controversy, if you will.
Major controversy.
Surrounding the new... No, that's Jonathon Majors. We've already done that.
Oh, I'm off track, Ben.
You're off track. You're off piste.
The aliens have confused me.
Yes, well, they're confusing
particles.
everybody in Marvel's brand new series about shape-shifting aliens. Secret Invasion.
Oh, yeah.
We've got episode 1 this week, Michael. And whilst we should be focusing on, the quality of the show, the strength of the performances, the faithful adaptation of material, nobody's doing that, Michael, because Marvel have done the fucking silliest thing I've ever seen.
What is it?
Disney has used full AI generative art for their opening sequence.
Ben.
Yeah.
Fucking rubbish.
They didn't even use the good one. They used version 2 of Midjourney.
They didn't even use the good one. It looks like AI art from 5 years ago.
Michael, some twat at Disney. Some executive at Disney has gone, do you know what we'll do? Do you know what's hot right now?
AI art.
This is absolutely fine. Why don't we just do the whole sequence? Because Skrulls are shifty, weirdy boys.
I've seen some AI and it looks weird and shifty.
So just do that, lads. Just do that.
Just do it.
It
looks rubbish, though, Mr. Executive. It looks rubbish.
But, sir, we've done a shit job. There are better versions of Midjourney. Use version 2.
Just use version
first
2.
Version. But it's on 5.1, sir. We can get photorealistic. Version 2 or death.
I want my title sequence to look very unsettling and unpleasant and very reminiscent of a very short window of time in the AI art journey. I want it to look like AI art from about 2019.
I'd like that. That would make me happy. Come here. What if we just took other people's work, right? Us, Disney, who are famously copyright litigious. What if we just stole it?
Yeah. I think this is so vague that it doesn't... The AI wasn't advanced enough when they made this to steal someone's art.
So the interesting thing here, Michael, and where this becomes kind of interesting is there is currently a massive debate in the AI sphere as to the ownership of AI-generated art.
Yes.
Adobe are leading the forefront on this because they refuse to allow other people to claim art made by their generator, which is Adobe Firefly. However, you could also argue that nobody owns the art that comes out of something like Midjourney. That leads us to a very important question, Michael. Is Disney aware of this, and have they created their own stable diffusion engine from Disney copyrighted work? Or have they fucked it? It's a very interesting question. And I probably wouldn't take issue with this, Michael, except for the fact that there is currently a writer's strike in Hollywood over this very issue, where many of the big movie companies are going, no, we'd never do that. We don't need to sign it into law because we don't need to put it in a contract because we'd never. And it's like, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Don't look at it though. It's rubbish.
Don't look at it though. It's rubbish. It's
don't
so
look at it. We're
shit.
embarrassed. I think that's the bigger crime, Ben, because I genuinely don't give a flying toss about AI art rights. It doesn't bother me.
I know.
I think it is. It's like every flash in the pan about rights. Now, having said that, like it does bother me that Disney own all intellectual property in the world. I don't think one person should. So I've always been in favour of loosening intellectual property rights, not
That's because you're
tightening them.
dying to make your Mickey Mouse fan fiction a reality.
Fucking Mickey Mouse I was going to call it, but then I found it was taken. But Ben, the bigger crime on this is that it's fucking rubbish and boring.
It's so shit and boring. It doesn't even follow a good narrative thing. It just shows there's a few things that pop up, Michael, that I couldn't fucking believe. There's a handshake and it's just two mushies intertwined.
It's gross.
And then there's a Samuel L. Jackson turning into a Skrull, but it doesn't look like it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, it's so
absolute
shit, man.
Drivel. One of the worst title sequences they've produced. Remember at the end of She-Hulk? They had those lovely hand-drawn looking art.
That was nice. Let's get more of that.
And She-Hulk was rubbish.
She-Hulk
but at least
was
that
shit.
was good.
Michael, this was so bad.
Remember Daredevil Season 1's opening credits? People didn't skip it.
Yeah, that was great because they paid artists a lot of money to design that and put a narrative behind it.
But then they kept trying to do it in every other series for years, and now we've ended up at this nadir.
I wonder, Michael, did they have to hire writers to make storyboards for opening sequences to give some kind of narrative bent to it, and the writer's strike kicked in, so an executive was just like, nah, stick it into Midjourney, see what we knew.
Stick it into Midjourney, just get Midjourney to make a random shite title sequence. Ben!
Even AI, hang on. Even AI companies are looking at this going, no, that's not us. Don't, that's not our work. We didn't do that. We do way better shit than that. That's
Don't
shit.
sue me, I didn't do that.
That's
I
shit.
didn't do that. I would have put much better seeds into it.
Yep, I would have lashed seeds in there, and I would have prompt engineered the fuck out of it.
Oh, you wouldn't see the likes of these prompts.
Oh, I would have prompted it to fuck.
Yes. Hey, Midjourney, imagine a badass motherfucker shifting into a Scully shapeshifter.
With pointy ears, motherfucker.
He's got pointy ears, motherfucker, and a wallet. But no, just rubbish. They just put, hey, Midjourney, imagine the worst opening sequence you've ever seen.
Yeah, why don't you just obscurely paint everything in a version of Midjourney that came out 2 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, and shit. Green. Make it green.
Make it green.
Ben, let's stop complaining about the title sequence. So, did you actually watch it?
No, I didn't get a chance, sorry.
I tell you what, you didn't miss an awful lot.
Oh, no!
I tell you what.
No!
So, they're going for a spy has come in from the cold vibes.
Uh-huh.
They're going for Nick Fury has come in from the cold. He's kind of the game has left him behind a little bit. And he doesn't know who's his allies and who's his enemies. But everyone just feels a bit low energy and tired.
Like the Marvel franchise?
Yeah, a little bit. Samuel L. Jackson is a bit low energy and tired. One of my favourite of all time, Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
One of the worst performances I've ever seen from him.
Oh, that's
I leaned over to my
upsetting.
lovely lady friend and said, is Talos ill? Or is Ben Mendelsohn... excuse me, I can't speak. I said to her, is Talos ill? Or does Ben Mendelsohn just not give a shit anymore?
I think Ben Mendelsohn cashed the check a long time ago. And it's
very upsetting.
He's probably just like, I'm good. I'm real good.
One of the highlights, though, Ben, is that there's a classic Irishman suspense.
Oh?
Yeah. It's great. It's got Killian Scott in it, Ben.
Who's Killian Scott? Get the fuck out of here.
Killian Scott played Tommy in Love Hate.
Oh, Tommy!
Yeah, you remember him, Ben?
What's he doing in there? I like to think that ever since Nidge got in, he was like, Barry Cowan's very good.
Yeah.
Killian Scott's it's just Nidge going around tell you what, Disney, yeah, you're gonna put my mates in your fucking stuff, yeah, and I don't want to see them in no title sequence, right? And that's what he's doing. That's what he's just going around doing. Killian Scott, very good actor, decent work.
Yeah.
All the lads from Love Hey.
Yeah, his real name's Killian Murphy. One of my favourite little tidbits.
His real name's Killian Murphy, and he changed it because he couldn't get any jobs with Killian Murphy because there's already a Killian Murphy.
Because Killian Murphy was who for the whole...
It's Killian Damien Murphy.
Yeah. His name's Killian Murphy. But the other
hilarious.
Killian Murphy.
And the other fucker beat him to it, so he's just like, shit.
Well, it'd be Killian Scott, I suppose.
And then Andrew Scott came along and he was like, for fuck's sake.
Fuck it. But it's great because he's an Irish Skrull, Ben. He's an Irish Skrull to Sposs.
Get out of town. Is he a villain?
Oh, of course he is, yeah.
Oh, good.
Great. Yeah, it's kind of dull. It's kind like at times felt what they were going for and it nearly clicked.
That's very upsetting.
But it just didn't quite make it. And then a little bit rushed to have an episode 1 big shocking denouement.
Is there a big denouement?
Well, we're going to get into spoilers now. Spoilers for Marvel's Secret Invasion.
Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. The title sequence is shit.
Title sequence.
The title sequence is shit.
Yes.
And other spoilers incoming now.
Very good. You've almost got a little bit towards Matt Berry there.
I did, yeah. It was very close.
So one big spoiler not one big spoiler, but one slightly upsetting thing is everyone keeps telling Nick Fury, you've changed ever since the blip. You've changed ever since you came back. You've changed. It's like, all right, guys, we get it. We're supposed to think that he might be a Skrull. We get it.
We understand how this works, guys.
We get what you're saying. We understand what you're saying. And but Nick Fury's on the Saber space station. It's like, oh, he came back, but we didn't see who brought him back.
Oh,
so, might Nick Fury be a Skrull? Don't really care.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Probably is. It's disappointing in the sense that a lot of these things recently have been disappointing, where instead of a big epic event where, you're tense the whole time and anyone could be a Skrull. Sure, anyone could be a Skrull, but you know who it most likely is? The jobbing actors.
Yeah, it's the lads that are going to be there for an episode or two and then probably Killian Scott.
Probably most likely them, yeah. And, one or two of the big names. But none of the twists felt very twisty.
So I can't remember, Michael, if this was a hit back when it was a comic, was it?
Yes.
Was it a hit?
Yeah. This was a big one for Marvel, the old Secret Invasion. Yeah.
Okay.
It was. And in particular, the kind of image that people remember from it is the revelation that Elektra gets killed and turned out to be a Skrull.
Yeah, that was a big one, wasn't it?
And everyone was like, I thought she was hot, though. And now she's gone all wonkily.
Elektra was very sexy. I remember that.
Wasn't she sexy? But now she's got big pointy ears and a weird Thanos chin.
Yeah, she's got a Thanos chin.
Is she a Skrull? And everyone was like, yeah, she is actually, isn't she? But if she is a Skrull...
Why are you extending all your vowels today?
Me?
Yeah, was he not Talos in the original instead of Talos?
Yeah. No, they do it. They do it in the show. They call him Talos.
Fuck off.
That's Nick
wrong.
Fury's like,
that's incorrect.
Talos, my friend.
But that's not the name.
Wasn't his name Talos before? Yeah, they do. I am doing it on purpose, but yeah.
Fuck.
What are we talking about? So anyway.
Elektra used to be sexy.
Elektra, and then everyone was like, oh, if Elektra used to be sexy but she's secretly a Skrull, who else is secretly Skrulls?
Who's secret Skrulls?
Fucking could. Everybody, most likely.
We can do a big spoiler here, Michael. It was Jarvis.
It was Jarvis, but it was everybody. But it's not going to be like that in this. It's going to be, it's going to be maybe the president.
Oh, not El Presidente.
Yeah. Well, they've just introduced the president, so it could be him. I guess it could be Don Cheadle. I guess it could be.
It's Rhodes.
It could be Don Cheadle. It could be, any of those people who were living in the Skrull refugee / rebel camp in Russia. Could be anyone.
Could be
Doesn't
anyone.
matter, though.
Everyone is
Doesn't matter.
Skrulls.
Everyone's Skrulls. Ben, the big shocking revelation of it, or the big shocking event, is that Maria Hill seemingly gets killed at the end.
Oh, I don't know if I care.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of the thing where you go, oh yeah, okay, she had a good run.
Normally I'd say, because I'm a misogynist, that I don't care. But in this case, I think I genuinely don't care, and not for a bit. I just don't think Maria Hill has ever lived up to the expectation people had of her.
No, she was good in Avengers. Remember, she had that blue jumpsuit and she was like, get the Hawkeye in the truck or whatever.
Yeah, she's pretty lethal in the comics, though. Like, Maria Hill is Nick Fury's successor for a very long time in the 616 continuity, and does a very good job of being kind of a badass lady spy master. And then in this, it was always like, oh yeah, there's Kobe Smulders. There she
There
is.
she is now. She was off Who's Your Mother?
She's off Who's Your Ma?
Yeah.
How I Met Your Ma. I was scundered down the back of the pub, and
Absolute fucking beluga. Ben, anyways,
Yeah.
look, I didn't rate it. I didn't think it was great. It wasn't awful.
yeah, but it's nothing to write home about, Michael.
No, that's the disappointing thing. Some fairly big bits of like stunt casting as well, in terms of Olivia Colman and eyebrows. What's her name?
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke. Yeah. So like 2 big bits of casting there.
That is big
And
casting.
neither of them were. It is, especially Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Olivia Colman essentially plays M.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I like Olivia Colman. Is she any good in it? Is she good? Does she make an effort?
Imagine Olivia Colman playing a slightly sinister M.
Okay. All right.
There you go. That's
that
it.
doesn't really grab me. That doesn't really grab me at all.
No. It's not terrible. It's not like repulsively bad like some
Okay.
of them have been recently.
Okay.
But it's just not gripping. My good lady friend said, this is not about superheroes. Where's superheroes?
But give me more superheroes.
Or fewer. Whatever. Not the Flash.
Yeah, less of those superheroes. But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. It's
Yeah.
fine. I'll watch the next one, but I'll watch this one on a Thursday, Ben.
Okay. You watched this one on Thursday. Do you know what I watched on Thursday this week, Michael?
What did you watch on Thursday this
I
week?
watched Skindiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Did you say Skindiana Jones?
Skindiana Jones. And then
Is
I
that the porn
realised...
version?
Yeah, I realised about halfway through, I was like, I don't remember Indiana Jones getting his tits out. Like, that didn't happen.
It did, though.
And yeah, he did. He gets his baps out all the time.
Oh, yeah. He's got that flowing shirt.
Yeah, Skindy. Yeah,
Skindy. Ben,
yeah.
stop this vulgarity.
Yeah.
We decided,
Go on.
in light of the upcoming Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Broken Hip, we decided to have a look at the previous... That was good, wasn't it? We decided to have a look at the previous Indiana Jones film. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and you watched it and I watched it.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna worry, because this is Exhumed, Ben, our semi-regular series where we have a look at a bit of old pop culture.
It's old.
Tat.
It's old.
So we're not going to worry about spoilers or no spoilers. But why don't you just tell us? What did you think of it?
Michael, the only thing I came away from this viewing of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with is that the people that wrote it don't understand magnets.
They don't. There was lead. There was magnetic lead. There was magnetic gold. The magnetism seemed to be set to random. Like it could practically pull a crowbar out of a grown man's hand at one stage.
Yeah.
And then just lightly move a compass at another stage.
Yeah.
Bonkers magnetism.
Now, Michael, no great master of magnetism am I.
No, that's Eric Lenchner, aka Magneto.
But even I understand the finer points of if something is a powerful enough magnet to pull ceiling fucking lights around and stuff, it doesn't just stop working when you need it to.
Yeah, well, you put the lid on.
What I particularly liked is that the writers of Indiana Jones 4 came up with a special kind of plywood that is so molecularly dense that it negates the effect of magnetism.
Yeah, it's a molecular plywood or whatever.
fucking ridiculous, Michael. Now, Michael, that's a silly gripe. When we talk about it realistically, Michael, there are many other things that are a little bit unrealistic about this. Bloody Indiana Jones' hip maintaining itself throughout the film. Ridiculous.
I tell you what, Ben.
Yeah.
So this came out in 2018.
Yeah.
Or do you have more things that you want to complain about?
2008. What are you on about?
Sorry,
2018.
Did you want to complain about more things there?
I just wanted one more thing, Michael. It's good to know that when the apocalypse comes and all the nuclear bombs go off, all I have to do is hop in a fucking fridge.
Very good.
I'm done.
So, it came out in 2008. It wasn't particularly well received.
No.
It wasn't beloved. And a lot of the criticisms of it are some of these ridiculosities that you're now bringing up.
Yeah.
In particular, the fridge and the monkeys and the aliens were the three things that upset people.
Yeah.
But I watched it there the other day with my lady friend.
Yeah.
And I thought it was surprisingly good.
Michael, this holds up better than it has any right to. It's a fucking grand film.
It's fucking grand. There's a turning point in the film where it goes spectacularly off the rails for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it pulls it back in the ending. There's a very weak sequence in towards the kind of the back third.
Go on.
Which basically begins when they reach the jungle.
Oh, the fucking jungle sequence is awful.
The jungle sequence is awful. And a lot of people have a lot of problems with this movie. And a lot of people blame the problems on Mutt.
I don't think it's anything to do with Mutt.
And I think it's just because in 2008, just like 2023's Ezra Miller, it was easy to blame Shia LaBeouf for anything that was wrong with the film.
Yeah, because Shia LaBeouf was the punching bag for a classic franchise.
Yes, exactly. And Shia LaBeouf kept being put in front of us in the late 20s, in the late 2000s.
He was fresh off Transformers and Constantine.
They kept putting him in front of us and saying, here's your new guy. He's your sidekick now, but he's going to be your new guy. And we were all like, nah, we don't want him.
Nobody wants a new guy.
But Mutt Williams is not what's wrong with this film.
He's grand.
He's absolutely grand. By the standard of Indiana Jones bit part sidekicks. Fine.
Michael, this is a great Indiana Jones film, and people are going to come for me. But this is better than Temple of Doom.
Oh.
This is going to get me in a lot of trouble. Go on, keep going. No, go on.
No, you go on. No,
so,
this is what we want to hear.
Temple of Doom is racist.
Yes.
Temple of Doom is very messy. It's not very culturally sensitive. It fucking pushes some pretty harmful stereotypes.
Ah, yeah.
It's voodoo in India, which isn't how voodoo works. But anyway, it's not a great film. There are some sequences in Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, that are equally as egregious as the jungle scene in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Benjamin, you were actually saying to me before we sat down that you found Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom quite racist. But at least in Crystal Skull, you thought when those pygmies all started coming out of the wall and shooting poison arrows at Indiana Jones, you were like, yes, finally an accurate depiction of Mesoamerican culture.
All right,
screen.
You fuck. All right.
You were like, this is like every Peruvian I've ever met. They're always leaping about the place and shooting their blow darts at me.
All right.
It's great. It's great to finally see it on screen.
I deserve that. That's fair. But no, I think if it's not better than, it's equal to.
I think it's better than Temple of Doom, but not necessarily for the racist thing, because it's a little bit racist.
It is a little bit racist. That's true.
It's a little bit racist. It's not egregious. Look, old media is racist. There's nothing we can do about it.
There's nothing we can do about it.
The world used to be more racist than it is. So casually,
but
so
even if we step away from casual racism, Michael.
Yeah.
This is a better film in terms of solid Indiana Jones archetypes being used to propel a good old-fashioned archaeological adventure.
The first 45 minutes to an hour of Indiana Jones is on a little adventure. He gets in trouble. He gets fired. He meets Mutt Williams. They decipher a clue. They go to Peru. They explore a tomb together. That's some of the best Indiana Jones stuff you'll ever see.
That's Indiana Jones bingo, baby.
Harrison Ford is an aging action hero
Yeah.
who still can hold his own.
He's got a shimmy on. Do you see him get up
He's
those
got-
crates at the beginning? Not a
Lepping up crates, Ben. Lepping up crates.
I'm
And
just
he
gonna-
can hold his own. One of my favourite things about it is Mutt Williams is obviously being positioned as a bit of an action hero.
Yeah.
But Indiana Jones holds his own and outshines him a lot of the time.
Several thousand times, Michael. Now, look, again, you rightfully pointed out, Shia LaBeouf, bit of a douche these days, right? And has kind of revealed himself over time to be a bit of a tool. However, at the time, Michael, he was just the punching bag for a franchise. But the one thing that you can't say about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is that Harrison Ford doesn't do a great job coming back as Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he's an older Indiana Jones, but he's still action-packed. He's still the same old character. He'll help a person in need begrudgingly. He's like, he finds out about a mystery and he's like, well, I can't not go and solve this.
Michael, there's a few hot and steamy scenes. At one point, we get Harrison Ford in a white t-shirt when he's been interrogated from the janitor from Scrubs. And all I could think to myself was, Jesus Christ, this man's an A-list Hollywood star. He's got a quiet smoulder, Michael.
Yeah.
He's got a
Even at
quiet
66.
swagger that runs the room.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines in it, and I'm going to butcher it now, Michael, but it's the scene in the diner between him and Mutt, because there's a few accusations flying around. There's no chemistry. Bullshit. They have a great tete-a-tete every once in a while. And one of the ones I like is, you don't always have to get so angry to prove a point. And there are so many great sit down, and you believe him. You're kind of in your seat before you know where you are. And one of the things I really like about it is, there's so many criticisms of a younger Indiana Jones from an older Indiana Jones, where he's like, you don't have to get so angry to prove a point all the time. All Indiana Jones did in the first three films was, oh, God damn it,
I better punch a Nazi, so.
I better punch a Nazi, so. The one thing I will say is there's too little Nazi punching in this one for me.
Well, there's no Nazis.
There's no Nazis, it's all Ruskies.
It's all Ruskies, Ben. And he's punching plenty of Ruskies and they're falling into pits of giant ants. But
Those ants, Jesus Christ.
okay, hold on. The fridge.
Yeah.
The fridge.
All right, let's go back.
The fridge is a bit farcical.
But it is Indiana Jones.
Yeah. And it's a heavy lead-lined fridge. And I actually think that sequence holds up pretty well. I think the really thing that takes you out of it is how far the fridge flies. Not the concept of the fridge itself. It's just the fact that the fridge flies through the air hundreds of yards and bangs off the ground and then creaks open and he's fine. If they had underplayed that a tiny bit,
Yeah.
like the bomb was pretty far from the town.
Yeah.
And he was in a heavy, that could have worked.
Yeah.
In fact, if you just recut it, and you know, my good friend Andrew Sean Ben sent me a load of, who also happened to watch this the other day.
Hi, Sean.
He sent me a load of re-edits.
Oh, very good. Did he do
And
them?
no, this is a popular thing on Indiana Jones fandom.
Oh, yeah.
Is to edit out some of the worst excesses of this movie and make it a very good movie. And you can actually just edit out the fridge flying through the air, do the explosion, and then have Indy crawl out of the fridge and not show it flying hundreds of meters. And it looks fine. And I know I said yards earlier and now I'm saying meters and I'm mixing up my measurements. I don't care.
But, Michael, here's the thing.
What is it?
It's a perfectly serviceable Indiana Jones film.
Yeah.
And people won't like us saying that, Michael. This might get us cancelled more than any of the misogyny.
Well, I've got a bit of misogyny coming up. But
Oh, good.
I think the other thing that people didn't like about this,
Go on.
which has really cooled off with age, is aliens. That's the thing.
Yeah.
People were stunned that this was about aliens. I personally liked it then and I like it now. I think if you're setting an Indiana Jones movie in the 30s and the 40s, that was all about mysterious artifacts and mummies and ancient curses. And the 50s and the 60s was all about nuclear scare and alien. And I was I thought that was fabulous. The CG is crap. When the
Yeah.
aliens merge back together, rubbish.
Weird.
Crappy 2008, the most generic alien design you've ever seen. The skull is cool.
Yeah, the skull is a fun prop. And it's practical. I like a practical prop, Michael.
You do.
Bring it on. I love a practical prop. There are a few agreed, like, by today's standards, according to some of the films we've seen lately, good CGI. Not too shabby.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
We saw The Flash. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, much better than that.
But there are a few sequences that are shoehorned in, I think, purely to amp up the action, and the jungle sequence is the most egregious for a number of reasons. First of all, there's no weight to the physics of the jungle scene. The cars just kind of float around like bumper cars. There's a weird sword fight. Mutt knows how to fence for some reason and can hold his own against a Russian super spy.
Well, in his defense, he does say at the beginning that his mother sent him to like posh schools to try and make him like his dad, who we assumed was his stepdad, but it turned out to be Indiana Jones.
It's Indiana Jones.
It's Indiana Jones the whole time. I actually, and again, the weird sword fight. I think that the weird sword fight is great, except for when he does the splits and takes 6 or 7 shots to the nuts from plants for no
It's
reason.
not going to happen. Why did you do that?
And why? And I tell you what, edit that out. That's a great sword fight.
It's pretty solid. But one of the biggest problems that it has, Michael, is that it's graded in a very 2008 way.
This looks like 2008, the film.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest problems that a lot of viewership had is that when you watch the classic Indiana Jones, you're not going to beat film. It's got that lovely film grain that gives it an instant cinematic and nostalgia quality. It's the movie you watched in the 80s on the big screen. It's very calm colours, very natural colours across the board, and there's a grim and gritty feel to the first 3 Indiana Jones films. He's sweating a lot. He's running through jungles and temples and pits, and it's a sweaty, hard life as an
Everyone's
archaeologist.
smoking fags.
Everyone's smoking a fag. At night time, it's very dark. It's very hard to see. You can't tell if you're grabbing a rope or a snake. And in this, it's just so polished, and there's no filmmaking to it. Do you know what I mean? It's just
I was expecting The Rock to come out of the bushes at any minute with a tan vest on.
with a tan vest on and saying, "Oh, Indy, good to see you, buddy."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, here's my hot take, Ben.
Go on, you give me a hot take.
The moment that this goes off the rails,
Yeah, go on.
and it doesn't recover until the end sequence, is the moment Marion steps out of the tent.
Very irritating.
She's in the wrong movie. Now, I don't think it's entirely her fault.
Not at all.
No, but I think she's not blameless either, because I think she's awful in it. Because there's no sense of danger or fear. She's in this car that's chugging around the dungeon. She gets a jungle. She gets a smack in the face.
Yeah.
She gets a smack in the face off some bushes as she's driving by, and then the next scene you look at her and she's in the car like this. Hey,
I'm having
in
a lovely
film.
time.
I'm in a film. But also an incredible waste of John Hurt.
Oxley.
Yeah.
Or what's his name?
Yeah, Oxley. Yeah.
No, it's Oxley. Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, Sean said this to me. Why not merge those characters and have it be her who went mad?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And Mutt could just tell Indiana Jones, it's your friend Marion Ravenwood. Let's go get her.
Yeah, because that'd make sense, wouldn't it?
It would. But then that starts, when those two characters are introduced, that starts the sequence of bad ideas. The monkey swing,
Yeah.
the ants,
Yeah.
there's just a bad half-hour scene. Marion
ants.
driving the car off the cliff into the tree,
Yep.
and the tree lowering them down.
Yep.
That's all rubbish. But then once they're in the water, it gets good again.
Do you know what the other egregious thing about this is?
Go on.
It's the first time that we've ever had so much explanation in an Indiana Jones film.
Go on.
So, Oxley is as you said, a waste of a character, and he's far too commonly used as an exposition dump. They're not aliens; they're interdimensional beings.
In point of fact,
they're interdimensional beings. They're aliens. Shut the fuck up. They're aliens. They're just aliens. That's what they are. And it's okay. It's fine. So anyway, we get a lot of explanation about what this is. And I don't think that's an Indiana Jones thing. The Indiana Jones moral is always, don't fuck around with mystical objects you don't understand.
that's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So Raiders of the Lost Ark, we know that you're not supposed to fuck around, but there's no neat bow on it at the end where Indiana Jones says, oh, well, God was in the casket, so you can't look at God. He just says, oh, no, the warning says close your fucking eyes. So you close your fucking eyes, and everybody else gets a face melt.
Yeah.
At the end of Temple of Doom, it's mystical Indian stuff. But we'll never understand exactly what happened. There's no Scooby-Doo whip the mask off moment. There is a force out there that can be harnessed for evil, and you shouldn't fuck around with it. You shouldn't mess around with it. Raiders of the Lost Ark, don't go chasing holy grails.
No, just stick to the Mayan icons that you're used to.
And they were so close, Michael, because they mimicked the end sequence of Last Crusade to the letter, right down to she's a Nazi, she talks in her sleep. There's another righteous divine act wrought against the female character who wants too much.
Yep, by her own hubris, Benjamin.
By her own...
A young Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, getting just fucking smoked by an alien.
Kate Blanchett, a very inconsistent Russian accent.
Oh, very all over the place. I am Russian, or am I?
Very all over the place, Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones, mate. Yeah. So that was a bit rougher on the edge. But Michael, a perfectly serviceable Indiana Jones film that I don't think deserved the hate that it got. Now, I watched this when I was 17 years old, Michael. In 2008. So I was peak angsty teen, and I remember going around going, this is fucking stupid, because you can't have another Indiana Jones. I didn't know what I was talking about, Michael. I didn't know what I was talking about. It's fine.
It's not great.
What I'm most looking forward to seeing is how they handle the fact that Indiana Jones got a happy ending in that one. One of the funniest things about this, Michael, because I looked at some of the criticism, and some of the criticism of the original is, Harrison Ford is too old to play Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Oh, wait until he's 80.
Like, we are now fucking 13 years later again. And we're getting... 15 years later again. And we're getting Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Michael, set in the 60s.
Yeah.
And he's still swinging digs, but we're going to find out now. Now, it's going to be done in a quick side note. Marion died after a long and happy life with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And Mutt is off doing his own thing at college. He's finishing school. He went into archaeology and he teaches at a university. But fuck me, that's silly.
I tell you what, though, Ben, I don't think we will. I think it might be something to do with Harrison Ford, but Harrison Ford hates these characters so much that Indiana Jones is going to be a miserable old grump with a horrible life.
But that's what I want. I want that.
Is it?
I like Harrison Ford. I like grumpy Harrison Ford.
He's so grumpy.
I like him.
The other criticism, Ben, was how dare they present us this Mutt Williams character and imagine that we're going to take to him and he'll take over and be in the next film.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you weren't too annoyed by that, because here's Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh man, if the only thing that'll piss you off more than bloody Shia LaBeouf is a woman.
Yeah.
And she's a feminist.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to watch it, Michael. It'll probably be alright. This was fine, and it actually made me less nervous about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
This was fine, and it made me more nervous because I think the Dial of Destiny is going to be absolute fucking rubbish.
Love it. I love it. So come here to me, Michael.
What is
Michael. If
We did a
you
poll.
wanted to dial some Destiny. I'm not doing the poll. It's too late for the fucking poll.
We did a poll. Who's the best Indiana Jones? It was Indiana Jones.
Son of a bitch. Indiana Jones won. We gave you Lara Croft, whichever one it is. We gave you one of the
Lara.
Crofts. We gave you Nathan Drake, and we gave you Nick Cage from National Treasure.
Yeah.
And everybody voted for Indiana Jones anyway.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. He's great. So anyway, come here to me, Michael. Michael. If you wanted to dial in for Destiny, you can get in touch with us in a few different ways. You can find us on the interwebs at www.seomrabeag.com, SEOMRABEAG.com.
It means tiny room in Irish.
It does indeed. You could find us on Instagram at Your Look, Should Listen Podcast.
She looks to listen in English.
Yeah, you can find us on bloody TikTok at Your Look, Should Listen Podcast.
Sure look, sure listen.
Yeah, and then, ladies and gentlemen, the best way to get in touch up with us is to sow some Discord and hop up on the Discord down below in the comments.
Hop up on it.
For all your latest tepid gossip and news.
Last week's news today.
Last week's news today, in case you're slow like us. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us this week. Bye-bye.
What's next week, Ben?
We don't have anything, Michael. We have a production meeting tomorrow to discuss that.
Oh, very good. Well, I hope we don't forget. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.